Hey ladies and gentlemen, Casual Crono here. This video we are going to cover an Ode to Origin, Act 3, the Demi-Human's Eudaimonism, Chapter 3, Demi-Human's Paradise. Requirements, of course, are to clear Chapter 2 of Act 3. We are doing this on Master Difficulty, as always. And for these 3 chapters, I have been using my Crystal team. Lily, who is good as either support or a main damage dealer. I have her geared for damage right now. Nilia, also geared for damage because that's pretty much all she does. Nina, support character, zone setter, pain setter. She is geared for survival, so she has a little bit more health, and some of her Grasta are support oriented. And Alma AS, I could gear her either DPS or tank-wise. I've chosen to gear her tank-wise because I'm hoping the DPS from Nilia and Lily are enough. So she has a lot of health. Grasta all geared towards health. And gear choices give her health and resistances, 9 lives, etc. as well. For support characters, Aldo is supporting Lily with all the sword Grastas. Ukwaji is a fist user. Threw him in for his extra little benefit of getting heals at the end of turns, but really any fist user is usable. And he has Power of Crystal and Enhance if max HP for fists. My sidekicks, I'm using Kumos and Moke, not Tetra as usual. Kumos has the ability at the end of every turn. He will restore a little bit of MP to the whole party. So I like that. This team, aside from Alma counterattacking, doesn't really have a good way to restore MP. So I'm using Kumos for that. Options if you don't have Kumos, and if you've progressed pretty far in the game, there is a Magic Rewind Clock Hand sidekick item that restores MP for all allies every turn. And while I don't have it upgraded, I'm assuming that the further you upgrade it, the more MP you get back. So you could always toss that on pretty much any sidekick and you'll have a source of MP regen. And then I have Moke because I have the Lily, in case I need to re-enter sword-wielding savior state. So that is the team. And we are going to open up quests, Demi-Human's Paradise, and move to location. And we are going to mark it as a priority quest. That means the little symbols will appear on the map and I'll know where to run off to. So I can see I'm running off to the north right now. For those of you new to my walkthroughs, I tend to edit out cutscenes. It reduces spoilers that way, and it basically makes the video shorter. So most people watch these videos to see how to kill a boss or how to solve a puzzle or sometimes like where hidden chests are. So if you're, if you're playing the game, then you're seeing the cutscenes for yourself. You don't need to see them a second time. So the other thing I'm going to mention is down in the description of this video, you will see I will have it marked like what step you're on, and it will jump straight to that part in the video. So if you're stuck on step number 9, for example, you can just skip steps 1 through 8, click on, hop over to step 9 and see what you might be missing, assuming of course I can figure it out too. So that being said, let's go ahead and get started with Chapter 3, Demi-Human's Paradise. Quest accepted. So it looks like we're going back to the laboratory. I'm assuming in this time. Yeah, it looks like it. Alright. Lab. Move. Oh, and automatic scene. Following that scene, we're going, I think, next door to the Special Intensive Care Unit. That was easy. Alright. Looks like we're going to treat Meryt and Spiri. And something that was mentioned, possible spoiler alert if you care about that stuff. The bot mentioned that there was something below the surface that was providing the energy for a lot of this. I can't go back to the log exactly. Again, me just maybe wishing that Chrono Trigger is a part of this game at some point in the future. We keep getting little glimpses here and there, like the Lavogs, and of course Cyrus and obvious Luca. But if Lavos is sleeping under this world, maybe they're tapping into his energy somehow. This is the ode to Origins, after all, and I don't know. Wishful thinking possibly on my part. Let's go ahead and see what the next step is. Alright. The Demi-Humans, you may be separated from Prime members. Alright, so if you have pulled Meryt and she is part of your team, even though Meryt is sitting there in the chamber, it's saying that obviously she'll still be part of your team. Alright, looked like we were going to my time, to the Astrarium. Is that a... I forgot what this quest was. Oh, those. I think those are the super bosses for Acts 1 and Acts 2, which... I think Act 1, I was required to finish the town, which I'm nowhere near finishing. And not even sure what the requirements are. Oh, no. I was thinking of the Final Fantasy IX collaboration. We've had a lot of stuff lately. So, well, one day I'll unlock those super bosses, fight them, and give you a video for them. But that will not be today. Today we are going back to the room that holds our pseudo buddy bot. Alright, which we have to walk around for. Yeah, it'll give me a chance to set up the party for a fight. Or not. Alright, next scene. Looks like I have control. Go to the special intensive care unit. Okay. Kind of sounding like, again, spoilers. If Meryt becomes queen, that might mean the end of humanity? I'm not sure if I'm jumping too far into conclusions. But Rem was left alone, trying to find a way to... Oh yeah, I'm in the present, aren't I? Kinda sounded like Rem becoming queen might not be a good thing. Or, I guess possibly, if Meryt becomes queen, then humanity might be saved, but... Huh, I just realized those 3 panels on the wall. One's raised up, 2 are lowered. Was it always like that? I don't know. Meryt is not in her chamber either. Did Rem do something? Let's find out. Alright, reading the journal resulted in apparently a discovery by Meryt, and she wants to see something in the future for a change. So we are going to Resttin. Did her people just evolve into the beast people? Is that what she's realizing? I don't know. Let's find out. Following that discussion, sounds like Guildna is back somewhere. Apparently, right past the inn. How's my health anyway? Doing fine. Have we even fought anything yet? No, I guess not. Alright, we're going to the Queen's Chambers now with Guildna. Sounds like I might be right. It sounds like maybe, spoilers, Remulia evolved into the beast folk, the origins of the beast folk. Now that said, the beast folk were trying to wipe out humanity. So maybe there's something tied in with that. I mean, yeah, Guildna and Aldo are friends now. But, you know, different things can happen during timelines. Especially if those bubbles were causing the beast folk to get way more powerful. Might be hard for the humans to fight back. And then there's all this talk of evolution, and the whole thing is kind of being run by some robots, or at least it looks like robots. Oops, not dreams. This will take a little while. The benefits of having played for years. Alright. It kind of looks like all of the past creatures are robots. Personality and machinery. So, what did they evolve into, I wonder, if anything? Or maybe that's Act 4. I think I read that there was 4 acts for this one. Alright, we're running out of time. We need to get to the Astrarium. Alright. Map. Astrarium. And don't have to go far. Next step. Alright, we're going to follow Meryt, who just kind of wandered off, apparently into the corner. Sounds like I'm headed to Dhaat. And if I understood the text correctly, sounds like we're going to destroy the self-destruct machine. When we do, all of the power lines will glow, and that's when all the rest of the people everywhere will destroy the power lines at the same time. At least that's my understanding. Well, technically my understanding is all I'm going to do is sit around and follow the little quest markers and kill whatever it is I have to kill. I have control, and I'm assuming we're going to have a new map to explore. Ecological observation area. Alright. No little marker anywhere. So I will start exploring. As I've mentioned in other videos, if you want me to find treasure chests such as 5 special crystals, feel free to watch. Otherwise, skip ahead in the video to wherever you may need. Looks like... So we were told as we were entering to check the husks of predecessors, robots who have deactivated, I guess, in the past. So they're probably holding some of these cards. Good job, Aldo.
Explodes into action.
Alright, I think this might be the first fight of this chapter. We're going to rage. We are going to put down pain. We are going to buff and buff on turn 1. Some of the enemies seem to be weak to crystal, so they die pretty quickly with Nilia, but the others resist crystal, so that's the reason for all the buffing. But turn 2, Nilia seems to be able to knock him out pretty easily with a Moonsault Meteor.
That might make a good design.
Alright, nothing else on this floor. Aha, here's a deactivated robot, politely called Husks. Alright, found a green key card. Beast.
I shall handle this.
That would imply there's more than one key card as well. Now, it just so happens both of these happen to be weak to crystals, so I don't have to worry about buffing in turn 1. I can just use Moonsault Meteor. And that seems to take care of them pretty good. Alright, let's fight this horror.
Get back home.
Alright, turn 1, go back to buff, buff, debuff slash pain, and rage.
How's this?
And what I found for the horrors is that on turn 2, I just blow the AF gauge and hit attacks until I get the Stellar Burst gauge, and then Nilia's Stellar Burst can one-shot the horrors. At least with the way she's geared and buffed. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Just hit all ones. Alright, there's our burst. One well-placed Moonsault Meteor will do the job. But just for fun, I'll just burst with everyone.
Have a taste of unknown alien power.
There you go, Nilia knocked out 3 billion on the horror. And we wait. Alright, let's see what else we can find. Yeah. Alright. Names that indicate position are convenient. At least, that's all they should be. I'm not sure if I fully understood that. Position like left-right, or position like a general versus a private. Alright, rage, debuff. They're both weak, so moonsault and buff.
That might make a good design.
Alright, I think that was the entire map. So something kind of cryptic up there, and does the beast card work? Kind of looks like the symbol of like a ram. Alright, moving on. Next area to explore. That is not a beast. There's 2 slots. Wonder what happens if you put in the wrong one. Oh, so close to the treasure chest. Alright, a moonsault will take care of that thing. Alright, we get Crystal of Attack. Let's just kill it. I know I don't have to, but it's extra 3,000 shards and I gotta collect a lot of stuff to rebuild the cities. Alright, now we gotta wait for Alma's counterattacks, and then we can burst and defeat this thing. Alright, I'll just work in an apostle while I'm at it. Maybe speed it along a little. Apostle, all ones. There's the burst. Moonsault, and we don't care, we don't care, we don't care.
Our swords stand nice and pure.
I tell you, they really need to add something that will beat Elpis weapons. The fact that I'm still using the end game weapons from like 4 end games ago.
That was nothing.
Or just something with a new overthrow coefficient. That would probably be enough, really. Alright, nothing this way. Is there a husk in this direction? Oh, it looks like wings.
Can somebody pinch me?
Alright, let's see. Buff, pain, rage, buff. Alright, counterattack time. I'm not really complaining, but it does take a little while. If it can hit me 4 times at once, why can't I just counterattack 4 times at once, you know? Alright, we'll switch to Moonsault. And throw in an Apostle as well. Not really necessary, but... Alright, Crystal of Support over in this corner. Haven't seen any other husks. I guess it has to be down here. Yep. the wing key. We saw that up here.
Get into gear, Moke.
Can I just walk around the entire map just to discover the key I needed was like 10 steps away from the entrance? I think I did.
How's this?
Alright. Moonsault.
Not bad. Is everyone okay?
Oh, I did have to walk all the way around. I forgot. That was blocking the way. Okay. Well, if I had to guess, we'll use the key to get in this room. The next key will be inside the room. And then we can progress. Sound reasonable? That's kind of how the game goes. Yep, there's the human card. And what's this? More notes? Okay. I wonder if I can use that card. Let's just be safe and go back the way we came. Oh good, it's the crystal weak ones. Moonsault will take care of it all.
Another virtuous victory for Lily.
Alright, so this would be the human with wings. Oh, it's an elevator. Alright, yet another area. Alright, let's start off by going left, which is probably a dead end. Oh, that was just short.
Hey guys, always at the ready.
The first group that had 3 of them? Feels like I've seen just nothing but groups of 2 this whole time. So Rage didn't take. I wondered why the whole team took damage. Alright, Moonsault. Alright, moving on. I thought I had that key card, unless it's a one-time use card. Alright, high class scrolls there. Ooh, more logs, alright. Alright, red key card, check. I guess they are one-use cards. Ooh.
Hey guys.
Wait, that's Beast. That's a green card. Alright, both of them weak to crystal. So a one-turn Moonsault should be enough.
The winner is us.
So I guess we need to go through here, find the other husk, come back, go through there. Alright, we got a plan. There's a lot of horrors in this area. Might just save some time and skip a few. If I can. Kind of an interesting room. Alright. There we go, finally got our MP back. Okay, moonsault time. Everything else is pretty much the same.
That might make a good design.
Alright, there's the beast card. Alright, I need all three, and I have 2 right now. Let's see, the beast room was this room. Which means the wings should be in here. Looks like I'm not going to avoid that horror.
Another valuable lesson. Your world sure
Okay.
is full of surprising creatures.
Alright, turn 1, buff, pain, rage. And then turn 2, AF burst and stellar burst, and be done with it. Alright, we'll work in 1 apostle, all 1s, stellar burst. Apostle, all 1s. There's the burst. And moonsault.
Feel the power of Aurum alchemy.
I really do miss just roaming around and one click killing everything. But not everyone has that luxury, so.
Another virtuous victory for Philly.
Alright, is the other husk up here? Fragments of support are here. There's something that popped up on the map. Alright, we gotta redo everything after the AF burst. So buff, yep, okay. Alright, so this is the 3rd chapter of Act 3. It's the final chapter. We know that there's going to be some huge boss thing. Maybe guarding the self-destruct mechanism. That's probably where I would put a super boss. I wonder if it'd be like mechanical in nature. Alright, moonsaults, the other stuff doesn't really matter. I mean, if I put a boss in this chapter, that's probably where I would put it.
Everyone okay?
Whether or not it's the only boss, I don't know. Oh, there's a husk. There's the wings. Guess we'll find out now if I can... Oh, I can unlock it. Does it actually save me any time? Maybe a little tiny bit. Alright, all three. Is this like the boss room? Oh, elevator. Oh. And boss room. Maybe. Dhaat plant. Oh, yeah. Long corridor, short walk, and blinky icon. That's pretty much screams boss fight. I'm okay, I think. Hopefully not immune to crystal. Yep. Alright, called it. So something is probably guarding the self-destruct mechanism. Alright. Necromaton. Missed the last part of it. Eris, Finis, something. Alright. It said immunity as long as there's an enemy, or as long as there's another creature around it. Like, alright. Auras. It takes magic damage. Magic resistance decreases. Alright. So my team, Nilia and Alma, do magic damage. That means their damage output is going to be reduced. Special type environmental effect? Is it going to release elements? Okay. Looks like for the first turn, those guys can't be hurt. So we'll use that opportunity to inflict rage, pain, buff, and buff, just like we've been doing. So I guess an AF burst on turn 1 isn't going to do much. It looks like there's some revive points as well. So the question is, are those guys the same ones that we just fought as trash on the way here, or do they have more health? Because a single moonsault should wipe all of them out. Let's check this guy out. Alright, yep, it does have 2 revives. It looks like it improves power, int, and speed by 60%. At every turn end, it grants it to its summoned enemy. Alright, if there's any summoned enemies, reduces user. Alright. Alright, so once somebody hits less than 50%, they take more fire damage. Alma, I think, got less than 50% there. Alright, those auras are up. Pain, rage. Alright, so this is what I'm thinking. We can use this opportunity on turn number 2. Oh, Alma is confuzzled. Kind of looks that way. Do I want to blow an AF burst then? Yeah, why not? Alright, I will... Apostles. I will... Moonsault Meteor. And I guess I'll do another Burst Seams Cage. My thought process, Burst Seams stacks, so I can make this weaker and weaker the more Burst Seams I get. So I'll do 2, 3, 2, and then all ones. 2, 3, 2, and then all ones. Let's get our burst seams in there. Save the stellar burst. Alright, those guys go away. Is Alma okay now? Alright, so if I read that right, this is the final turn of sword-wielding savior state. And it said defensive protocol removed. So let's go ahead and burst now. That will allow me to sword and heart and get 5 charges back. And I can go ahead and do the other stellars as well. So sword and heart, moon salt. Let's go ahead and deploy and kaleidoscope. That'll give me a link for the whole party.
Feel the power of Aurum alchemy.
Wow, sword and heart and moon salt only took away half its health. Alright, we'll do moon salt. Let's do an inspiration, buff up the party for a change. Do we have rage on there? Yes, we do. Brain record. Wonder if it has a weak point. Yeah, we'll just stick with Lesser Glare.
Wide open.
Alright, Moonsault does over 3 billion, took off that much. So we're looking maybe at about 15 billion, give or take. And we still have 2 revives. So that's a lot for master difficulty. Alright, now it's going to be defensive again. Those guys still need rage and everything, so rage, pain. Let's keep doing Moonsault. And let's go ahead and get back into sword wielding. Should I do this now? Yeah, why not? Okay, and then while we're in sword wielding state, let's just do a Photon Messiah. Alright, I have an AF gauge to work with. So Moonsault got that thing down to almost nothing. Oh, it heals. Yeah. Alright, so let's see if we can finish off the first life now. We have... Should we rebuff? Let's... It does resist. You know what? Let's blow the AF gauge. I don't want it to, I don't want to drag this out. We're already on turn 5. So let's blow the AF gauge. I'll try and knock out the first life. During that time, if I do, I'll just continue to fill up the Stellar Burst gauge. So that means, what do we need to do? I need to work in 1 drive Lariat. Yeah, let's do it this way. So we'll do all ones except for a drive lariat, and then all ones. Once that thing is down, then we'll do the 3s and 2s and try to rebuff with whatever time we have left once I get that gauge. So now I'm thinking about it. Let's at least get the 3s in. So let's do 3, 3, 1, 1, and then all ones. 3, 3, 1, 1. All ones. With all those resistances. Alright, we can Stellar Burst whenever we need to. Looks like we may have hit the HP stopper. So let's work in the 2s. Yep, alright, so there's a little sliver there for the life point. Alright, looks like it's summoning different creatures now. And they have that 100% damage barrier for the first turn. So I can use that time to start filling up the gauge. So refraction, burst seams. We'll try a Moonsault Meteor. Maybe it bypasses barriers. Should at least knock out that one. And we'll Photon. How many turns left do we have for Sword and Heart? Oh, last one. Okay. We're going to do it this way. We're going to Burst, Kaleido, Moonsault, and Sword and Heart. These two barrier pierce, so I'm expecting those two enemies to bite it. We'll take off a chunk of health on this guy, hopefully.
Feel the power of Aurum alchemy.
Do they have HP stoppers? Are they just that well defended? Okay. Moonsault. Let's get in a Photon. Burst Seams and Refraction. Well, they didn't have Pain. I wonder if that mattered to a degree. Now they have Pain. Alright, killed one of them. This will give me a chance to build up the AF gauge some more. Alright, so we'll focus on the other one now. We'll go ahead and do Promised Land, Moonsault. Actually, we'll do Moonsault. It's been a while since we did an Inspiration. Might have even run out. And Luster Glare. Okay, Moonsault did almost nothing to that guy. What happened? It's got some major resistances, looks like. Alright, why didn't you die? It's only a medium type resistance. I guess I don't have any. One turn left, 2 turns left. Okay, we'll just keep going, I guess. Alright, first scenes. How many turns? Let's see, we're not in sword wielding, so that's a possible. Seems to be taking a lot more magic damage than physical.
Wide open.
Looks like it just gained a shield as well. This is annoying. And I don't like things dragging out for a long time. Alright. Immune to statuses, reduces damage. Alright, so we gotta wait another turn. Oh, now she hurt him. Alright, what I'm trying to do is line up so that this thing drops its defenses and I can burst and stellar burst if I need to. So let's... And of course those two are stunned. Or something. Confused. Well, let's try a moonsault and see if that'll knock out that guy. Nope, nowhere close. And I guess it's going to summon back another one of those guys. Maybe not, but still. Oh, this is painful.
Wide open.
I wonder if it would be more advantageous to burst first, create the expose on everything. Hopefully Moonsault would also destroy that guy, and then that guy's defenses would go down. I guess we can try it. Alright. Don't have much of a choice. We'll go ahead. Kaleido, Dream Stitch, Moonsault, And... oh, I forgot to... actually, can I escape the burst? Nope. Nope. Well, it accomplished what I wanted it to. I just meant to sword and heart it. Okay. Sidekick. Switch to Moke. Switch back. Alright, let's AF burst this time. Let's burst seams it. A beast kick special. Let's make sure Promised Land is up, so let's do 3, 1, 3, 1, and then all ones. 3, 1, 3, 1, all ones. Alright, looks like we hit the next HP stopper. So let's see how much of the stellar gauge we can fill up. And any remaining time we'll work in some 2s. Worked in 1 inspiration just to be sure. Alright, we do have that. So let's inspiration, drive lariat, apostle, refraction.
The sword is held, not by God, but in our hearts and dreams. Its edge entrusted to the sword-wielding savior.
Probably should just burst a while ago and knocked out the 2 defenders, trash mob things. But now we know, so I'm assuming this final round he's going to summon more and be more the same type of thing. Alright, that should be his final life point. Oh, I wonder if that's one of the horror types. I have to expect I wasn't expecting him to summon a horror, but okay. Alright, so we are going to save this until we can blow the AF gauge as well. So let's see if that strategy works a little better. So we're going to refraction because that thing is new. Same with burst seams cage. We're going to weaken it. We'll go ahead and moonsault meteor since we still have the expose going on, though I don't imagine it's going to do that much damage. And then photon messiah. We've already buffed the others, so. Yeah, moonsault did not do that much. Or, oh, I guess it hadn't gone yet, but still only did like 400 million. Alright, so we still need to fill that up some more. Oh look, almost everyone's confused. Of course. Let's go ahead and Luster Glare. Oh, at least the Lily buffed my team. What? That wasn't very nice. Do I want to go through all that again? Ah, I can watch a video. I forgot all about that. Alright, we're picking up where we left off. Now, is it going to do that horrible thing again? Because I still can't AF burst. We're going to find out, I guess. Alright, burst seems... How's our inspiration stacks gone? Let's just rebuff while we're doing this. It's Apostle. Alright, we can blow the AF gauge now. Alright, let's see if we can figure out what that thing was. Don't see anything there. I guess it's just a natural skill. Okay, well, hopefully it won't do it again. Alright, let's think. If I cast this right now, type resistance has 1 turn left. Let's see if we can survive 1 more turn. Do another burst seams, do a moonsault. We'll do a promised land just to make sure. Give us as much of an AF burst to work with as possible. Alright. So let's get into sword-wielding savior state. Burst, Kaleido, Stitch, Moonsault. Yeah, Sword and Heart. That'll give us back the 5 charges.
Have a taste of unknown alien power!
That still didn't kill that guy? That's incredible. Alright, Moonsault. Photon. Let's do an inspiration. And does that thing have rage? It does not. I would really hope, as I say, Moonsault should knock that thing out the second time, but I guess the Little Lily did too. Alright, now this thing should have expose on the next turn. Alright, defensive protocol disengaged. It has the expose on there. We're in a crystal zone. Alright, let's do this. All ones. Alright, it looks like it's lost all of its health. Apostle, drive, refraction, inspiration, moonsault, promised, burst seams. Just in case. Alright, I have a stellar gauge to use if I need it, but I think it's been defeated, ladies and gentlemen, especially after all the cats rush in. I don't know how many turns that was. That took a long time and required one continue as well. But we did it. A win is a win. Alright, short scene after that, and we are reporting back to the Astrarium. Next. Oh, there was like a little portal back there. Was that always there? going to rest and recover in the Queen's chambers. Portal's not there. Or do we need to go down a floor? Portal's not there either. Oh, no, there it is. No, am I just completely forgetful? Oh, okay. So I can teleport to the present and the past through that portal. Okay, that makes a little more sense. All right, off to bed. Oh, I gotta click on that? Okay. And we're headed back to Astrolabos. And there's the symbol suggesting we are almost done with this chapter. Some questions answered, and of course a lot still being... Oh. I don't have a choice. I have to do the Tempest record. So it's a very simple one. Red, white, and blue. Alright. Here's the positions. Red. Guess we'll go with you. And... is it this blue or this blue? We'll try this one first. Oh, first try again. Quest complete. Nice little cliffhanger there. Kinda sounded like spoilers. We might need to go further back in time. What could be waiting for us there? Alright, what's this? I've no astral maps? Oh, that's right, we're in antiquity, aren't we? Alright, well, anyway. We get basically 500 stones right now for completing the third and final chapter of Act 3. Most of which come through a campaign. The campaigns do reappear in the future. At least the ones in the past have reappeared. So if you're watching this video and you missed the time frame for this campaign, it's possible that at some point in the future they might revisit the campaign, and if you've completed Act 3, Chapter 3, you will automatically get the stones mailed to you. And if you haven't, that would be a good time to do it. Alright, what else did we get? There's the last 10 stones, and then we beat up 20 Guardiuses. Alright, let's see. Well, big old cliffhanger for Chapter 4. Still haven't quite figured out if Rim is a good guy or a bad guy. They've been kind of painting her like she's suspicious, but I mean, her desires to save humans, which isn't inherently a bad thing, so I guess we'll see more whenever the next, I guess the final act. I think I read that there's only 4 acts, so this was Act 3. Act 4 will probably tie it all together somehow. But yeah, so Chapter 3. Final thoughts. It was pretty much just running around following the quest marker, I did not run across any items of particular interest, so if you want to skip treasure chests and things like that and just make a beeline for like the key cards and the quest markers, you could probably get away with that. And then that final battle on Master Difficulty was a bit annoying. Now, given I was using a crystal team, that may or may not be the best team to use. It seemed like the boss was taking more magic damage, so maybe like a magic-based team might be better for that fight. Or, of course, you could just break out big guns and knock it out probably with Cesta or Verdanta or any of those like super overpowered people. But I started with the crystal team. I wanted to finish with the crystal team, and even if it took like 20 turns on that last fight and a continue, I did find a way to succeed. And the bottom line is, you know, it's a game. You want to win. I won. Yay. So that was Chapter 3 with my crystal team. Act 3 and Chapter 3. And I guess we will wait around for Act 4. Hopefully we'll get some more information about it within the next month or so. So, anyway, hope this video helped you. I'm not sure if that was the best way to defeat the final boss of Act 3, but it seems like once you kill all of the little mini ads, then the boss is weakened for a turn or two before he resummons the little ads, so that would be the time to strike. So if you can Stellar Burst to knock out the ads, then you can AF gauge your way through the boss itself. That's probably the best strategy now that I'm like thinking about it and looking back at it. The key, of course, is you need to Stellar Burst the bosses, or the little ads, and kill them completely, or else, you know, you've kind of wasted the Stellar Burst. Alright, so anyway, bottom line, hope this helps you. Looking forward to Act 4. Casual Crono, signing out.